we talked about the design. You touched on a couple things. The density for sizing of the pool and the HOA. So what goes into the thought process of house size to go to a bathhouse or go to a house with a locker room or a city area? What goes into that decision making process?
At the end of the day, it comes to budget, really, and trying to meet the either minimum requirements that an HOA can afford for the product that we're putting out, location. Is it further out? Is it closer in? It's kind of a tough one to really gauge where it is because you always have the money to what people would want, and finding that number, it's an extremely hard one. But you got to be able to see if people can be thankful they got a pool. At least that's normally where we try to start because a pool definitely is a big selling feature to it.
So does when you do the swim team type pool, does that dictate a locker room or is it just you get by with bathhouse?
It would be nice, and I guess space comes down to everything. Every time a square footage increases, the cost increase. So we really kind of work backwards based on precedent and relationships with builders and our trade partners that we can say, hey, kind of where's price and money in right now? We're X amount just roughly here. That gives me pretty good backing into it portion.
Yeah. If I interject, I've been on a couple design builds where the neighbor comes in and they throw out a number 10 to 12 feet, 10 to 12 square feet per household. And that's, I don't know if that's the sweet number, but you've got a large neighborhood and you got a lot of homes in there. And then that's going to justify that budget. So I don't know if that's a good
It's close
to go off of,
but
but
it would be one of those things when you get up into the 600, 800 tunnels. Kind of looked at things early on in my career. It is now adjusting as getting through and learning new systems. I was always like at a zero. It was 200 communities. I would just say it's 2,000 square feet. And then I would start running numbers. But as you get into the 600, 800, 1200, you're up at 6,000, 8,000. That's when we start talking about, do we start pulling these two pieces apart? You're talking the resort style. And now let's do our competition. How do we phase and break those two apart? Right. Is a big part of it. But there's always been that number. Yeah. I can say maybe 5 times out of 10 it's worked.
yeah, that's the thing. And you get put in a little pitfall there when they're like, well, how big's the pool going to be? Is there a formula for it?
Budget. It's your budget. At the end of the day. And with